Ooh, that needs to be on a shirt. Repair it so you can wear it. Hello, darlings. Happy New Year. We're in that weird liminal space that we're sort of working on airport rules this week. And I realized I could go thrifting at 11 a.m. on a Tuesday. So I did, and I thought I'd bring you with me. Now, it wasn't just for funsies. I mean, always is. But at the end of every year, the beginning of every year, I like to do a bit of a purge and refresh and really be intentional about my wardrobe, about the things I'm bringing into my home, about how many things I'm accumulating. So I did a big purge, and I had a pile of things to go to be donated. And I thought while I was there, I would do a little bit of refresh. But I had a very specific list of things that I was looking for. And it was way more of a challenge than I thought it was going to be. I'd heard tales that this was the best week of the year to go thrifting because everyone takes all of the things that got replaced or kind of extras that they get from Christmas, and they then, do the donating of their old things because they need to make space for their new things. That is true. Every single stop that I made, there was a literal line of people, line of cars waiting to make donations, which is not normal. If you go a lot, there's usually maybe like one or two people there. There were lines of people donating things. So I think next week, the next couple weeks are going to be the Holy Grail thrifting weeks because there were lots and lots of treasures being donated. However, this week was one of the most difficult thrifting weeks I've had in a long time. And it ended up taking multiple days to find the few items on my list. And I didn't even find most of the items on my list. And I ended up having to go to 4 or 5 locations just to find the few pieces that I did find. Again, this was kind of a strange week where time didn't really mean much of anything. So I had the time to do this. It was fun. I enjoyed it as the experience. I took myself out to a little lunch, ran, to all over the city and outside of the city. I had a great time. But I have to say, this was a struggle. And maybe it was because I had such a specific list. Maybe it was the time of year. I'm not quite sure. But I highly recommend doing this. Clean out the old. Decide what you genuinely need new, if anything, and then go find it not new. Know what I mean? I had a great time. There were so many moms out thrifting with their teenage kids, which was really great to see. There were, just whole families out for the afternoon. I love that thrifting, shopping secondhand has really lost its sort of, when I was growing up, it wasn't the thing to do. There's a bit of shame attached to it. But now people really get the sustainability of it. They get the fun of it. They are really embracing it in a way that was really wonderful to see. There was really sweet young couples furnishing their first apartment and grandmas there. Everyone was out and about is my point. And it was just really, really nice to see such a wide variety of types of people in all different stations of life, really enjoying this exercise, and it wasn't just me. So join me as I try and find these few things on my list. I'll let you know what the list was in a second. And when we get back, I'll do a little bit of a try on for you, let you know what I actually did find, what I couldn't find, what is now becoming a weirdly holy grail, and get cozy. We're here for the new year. Get your warm socks, get a nice beverage. I'll see you in a minute for the try on. All right, we are on our way to the thrift stores, plural. I'm going to be looking for cashmere, natural fiber, kind of warm, cozy, neutral tone types of things, which isn't a normal something I'm looking for, but I really do need some super basic, warm, cozy, if I'm on an airplane, if it's chilly out type of things. I'm looking for some jewelry and accessories, some costume jewelry, always on the lookout for that. The kind of one thing I'm really hyper specifically looking for today is green. I spent most of my life not wanting to wear green because everyone told me to wear it as a redhead. But I've sort of come around to it. So I don't actually have a lot in my wardrobe. So I'm starting to look for some green pieces, tops, skirts, dresses. I'm just going to see what's out there. I do need some gifts coming up for the next couple of weeks. I've got some people that I will be seeing to give their holiday gifts, and I've got some birthdays coming up. I'm going to be looking for some vintage bathroom decor. I'm redoing my bathroom. I need some vintage decor. And if I can find any, it's probably going to be difficult, but we'll see. I need some new black boots, like everyday tromp around kind of combat-y, weather resistant boots. I have a pair of Fries that shockingly are really starting to fall apart. They're on their last legs, and I haven't even had them all that long, which is really disappointing. So I am going to be looking for a pair of black boots if I can find them. All right, so cashmere, jewelry, accessories, green stuff, gifts, vintage bathroom decor, and some boots. Let's see what we can find, where we can find it. what is now apparently an epic thrifting adventure, because I had such not good luck yesterday. I did find a gift for someone and I found a few little things, but genuinely nothing really on my list. So we're going to try again today. We're a little bit outside of the city. We're going to give it a whirl. So again, we're looking for cashmere, natural fibers, warm and cozy, which is needed because it's 20 degrees colder today. Jewelry, accessories, green things. I'm still on the hunt for green. Gifts again, vintage bathroom decor, and black boots, which has been a real challenge. All right, so we're at our first stop. Let's give it a whirl. So at the very top of the list was not only natural fibers, but green. And I was so lucky to find this. It is this open weave sort of sweater, 100% cotton, but has a bit of a t-shirt vibe. I don't wear a lot of t-shirts. It's just not really my thing, but I love things that can be worn in a t-shirt type fashion. So casual, but still really cute. And I love, this is the exact green I was looking for. I found a lot of green items, but I was really looking for this specific sort of emerald, Kelly, malachite green. Weirdly, not as easy to find as I thought it would be. But I absolutely love this. It's so cozy. It needs one tiny repair on the collar. Just needs to be sewn up a little bit. Not a problem. Little cotton thread, we're good to go. So I love it. It fits perfectly. Again, I wore my thrift store outfit so I could try things on because, as we all know, they've taken away all of our changing rooms. But I love it. I think it fits perfectly. I love the color. I love the fact that it's natural fiber and that it is the exact color that I was looking for. Love it. The second green item I found is this vest that I am so enamored of. I love it so much. I love it because of these giant buttons. It too needs a very minor repair. One of these buttons is only hanging on by a literal thread. So I need to stitch that on before I can wear it anywhere. But I just think these buttons are so fun. But it's just got the two big buttons. It doesn't even have any pockets. Love the length. Again, this color. It's reading a little blue on camera, but this is the exact color I was looking for, this vibrant emeraldy green. I love it. I love it so much. I found it hiding not near the vests or shirts because, of course, when you want to find things, you got to dig. And so I dug and I found this and I love it. I love it so much. I cannot wait to repair it so that I can wear it. Ooh, that needs to be on a shirt. Repair it so you can wear it. Right, this is the item that I thought was going to be the easiest thing to find. I thought I would have no problem finding a little bit of cashmere, a little bit of merino wool, probably with a little stain here or there that I would need to get out. I couldn't find anything anywhere. I was so disheartened. And then at the last Goodwill, was it the last stop was the Goodwill? The last one that I was at, I found this. It is absolute perfection. It's from Neiman Marcus, I think probably 90s. It is cashmere. It is simple heather gray, sleeveless, little turtleneck situation. I found this deep buried in the men's vests. After I found my green vest, I was digging around all of the vests, realizing, ooh, that could be a moment. Found this hiding in the men's section in the vests. It's absolutely cut for a woman's shape. I don't really gender clothes. You do you. But yeah, it was hiding and hiding hard. I don't know if someone was trying to hide it for themselves. If they were, I get it. Sorry, I found your stash. But it's perfection. It fits me phenomenally. It isn't stained. It was on the pricier side. I think this was marked at like $17. Fine. It's cashmere. This is one of those things, because it is so classic, it is never going to go out of style. And like, just look at this texture. It's gorgeous. I love it so much. It is just going to be a classic wardrobe staple, of which is not really my thing, but you have to have a few pieces here and there to really round out an eclectic wardrobe. It brings a little cohesion. Another piece that I found at the same Goodwill was this Ebon Picone for Talbot's 1970s blue wool blazer. Do I need another blazer? No. Was it on my list? Also no. But I couldn't leave it there. I couldn't leave it there. It was also freezing. It was like literally 40 something degrees. And I was very chilly, and I put this on just to try it on. I was walking around. I was like, oh, I'm warm and cozy. Warm and cozy, classic staples were on the list. Natural fibers were on the list. I justified it. There's no moth holes. It's just absolutely beautiful. I love it. I mean, look at this classicness. Look at these lines. Got the buttons. It's such a gorgeous feeling, gorgeous texture. I love it. And it fits so perfectly. It doesn't fit to where I could put a sweater underneath it. This is very much this is perfect. I went through a phase in grad school where I very much dressed like a professor from the 70s. We're talking tweed jackets, elbow patches. This is reminiscent of that. So I think for me is a little bit of a nostalgia of a style I used to wear. But I absolutely adore this jacket. It's the most perfect neutral navy. The gold buttons, just such a great addition. I love them. I know I'm going to get use out of this. What this does mean, though, is that this is something I've said I'm going to try for years, and I've never actually been able to make it happen, sort of the one in, one out rule. My coat closet is incredibly, incredibly small. It is genuinely, a linen closet in the middle of my hallway. It physically cannot hold any more blazers, jackets, coats. In San Francisco, we need a lot of those, but I only have a limited amount of space. So something has to go. So that is going to be a decision that I'm going to need to make, and that's going to go in the next donation or to be sold pile. But I think that's something that this year, I don't do resolutions, but I think that's something I would like to attempt to be better about this year. If I bring something in, especially if I don't have space for it, something does need to go. And I hope that'll bring just an added layer of intention to my wardrobe. But yeah, I absolutely love this. And I know I rationalized a little bit about it, but I know me. I know that this is going to get wear. So I'm excited about it. I love it. Isn't it cute? So classic. So those were the few things from my list, clothes-wise, that I was able to find. Some total gems. I love both of those green tops. That cashmere is just so cozy, so classic. Ugh, that blazer, I absolutely adore it. Such classic academia. I have like 20 outfits in mind that I want to wear it with. So I know it's going to get use. The thing that I was so struggling with was the black boots. So I'm literally sitting here with my Gorilla super glue and my pair of Fries that are falling apart. I mean, literally the heels are peeling. The inside leather is peeling off. The stitchings actually come off on the other one. I don't understand. I mean, they are Fries. I bought them secondhand, new, without, sort of the box or tag. So I don't know if maybe I got some knockoffs. Unsure, but they are falling apart, and I really didn't want to have to come back and glue them again. I've already done this once. I'm working on gluing them back together again. I couldn't find anything that even remotely resembled these. If you have a style or a boot or something like this you can recommend, especially secondhand, please let me know in the comments. All right, so a few other things that were on my list were gifts. I do have some gifts that I needed to get for people. I really scored here. Look at this little picnic basket. I love to give baskets, reusable items, instead of just purchasing, a little gift bag or wrapping in paper that's just going to get thrown away. I really do prefer to give a reusable item. The beginnings of this gift, I'm going to need quite a few other things to put in here, and I'm not quite sure what those are yet, but I found these napkin rings. They are absolutely the most delightful things. They are so cute. So I'll probably put maybe some cute vintage napkins if I can find some in a color scheme that I know that this friend likes. I'll put a cute little ribbon or bow on this, maybe some glassware. There's definitely some thrifting trips in the future for this gift, which isn't coming up anytime soon. So I've got some time to fill this basket, and I'm looking forward to doing that. I also found this is for me, it always happens when you go thrifting, right? You get your gift and then you get a gift for you. I found this little tapestry very much up my alley, very 60s homemade. I'm probably going to use it as a Christmas tablecloth next year. I'll probably pack it away with the Christmas things this year, but I absolutely adore it. And it was a whole $1.99. And the few other things that I got for myself, again, very, very inexpensive. I made kind of a rule with myself that I couldn't just grab all the things that I wanted, that they had to be fairly inexpensive. We're talking like $1, $2 tops. Luckily for me, it was Yellow Tag Day at the Salvation Army that I went to. And I have been looking for a classic brown clutch for all of my sort of 70s outfits. And I weirdly haven't been able to find one in the price range that I was willing to pay that was the size that I wanted. This one does need a good cleaning, but it was yellow tag day, so I paid $3 whole for it. And it is the perfect size. It still has its little handle. It does all of the things that I want it to do. So I think with a quick little leather conditioning, I think this is going to be absolutely perfect. And for $3, could not pass it up. Also grabbed myself a pattern because if you saw my last video, you know I love a vintage pattern. This one is supposed to be an easy to sew, which we all know, not the truth, but for a blouse. I haven't really thought about making myself a blouse very much in the style of the one I'm wearing now, but it's in my sizes and it's uncut. So I'm really excited to make myself a cute little blouse. So grab that. And then I collect vintage cookbooks and I found this, the Women's Day Encyclopedia of Cookery. They had multiple sets of this. This was at St. Vincent's. I just got the first one, and if I like it, I might go get others in the series. This is Volume 1, Abba to Avo, which I just sort of love. This is a recipe for cheese-filled meat slices, which absolutely I used to eat these when I came home from school. This is like my after-school snack. You just take a little piece of deli ham, put some cream cheese in it, and roll it up. And I love that there is a recipe for that in here. Peanut onion canapes, salami egg, sardine rounds. Yeah, I mean, what year is this? This is amazing. 1979 edition for Women's Day by Funkin' Wagnalls. I love this. Again, if I really like it, I might go back and get the whole series because, like I said, they had multiple sets. That St. Vincent's had an entire basement room of just books, and everything was $1 or $2 for hardbacks. It was an amazing, amazing deal. I'd actually never been to that St. Vincent's before. I loved it. It was lovely. It's a bit far for me, but if there's something specific that I'm looking for, they had kind of everything. I was genuinely a little overwhelmed by how big the place was and how many things that they had. But I got the pattern, the tablecloth runner, and the book there. I didn't bring home any clothes from there because there wasn't anything on my list, and that was, multiple stops in, and I was really trying to stick to the list. But I did get myself a few little goodies because you have to. So that's my Thrift With Me for 2026 haul. I really, like I said, had a great time being out and about, not really observing normal work week rules, taking myself out to lunch, going to thrift stores that I'd never been to, taking the time to just enjoy it. It was really difficult to stick to my list and to find things on that list. But I'm really glad that I tried. I'm really glad that I am continuing to be intentional about my wardrobe and what comes in and what goes out, as well as thrifting gifts for people. That is something that I've done for a long time. And at Christmas, it went over really well. People genuinely loved their unique, one-of-a-kind, not from big box store gifts. They really did. They were appreciative that it takes a little bit more understanding of who they are and time and effort to find those things. And I'm really lucky to have people in my life that appreciate that. So it went over really well. So I am going to continue to do that. Again, the gift that I've started over here, her birthday for a few weeks. So I have some time to go out again and really beef up this gift. And I'm looking forward to doing so. And I plan on continuing to do that in all of 2026. And I apparently continue to be on the lookout for the perfect black combat boot that isn't falling apart, which is genuinely making me sad. I'm so glad to have started the new year like this, and I'm really looking forward to continuing. I'd love to know how you plan on thrifting, acquiring, purging in the new year. What are your plans for your wardrobe, for gifting, all of the things? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. Until I see you again, stay thrifting, stay creative, stay crafty, and I'll see you soon. Bye.